For the past two series, the Yankees actually look good. I know that's a crazy statement to make, knowing how bad they've been. But seriously, they just won their second series in a row against a really good team. They showed some heart. That's the biggest thing. I have not seen during that streak of losing 2 to Boston and losing to Chicago. I didn't see any heart out of this team. I finally got to see a little bit of heart. The Yankees looked lost before the series. Getting swept by Boston is terrible. Getting beat by Chicago is horrible enough. But this team finally got their shit together. Finally said, fuck it, we're going to win these series even though we're not supposed to. Against Seattle, we were able to grind out 2 straight wins, and then kind of the wheels fell off. And I got very scared after that 10-1 loss at the end of the series. And I think a lot of people did too. And it kind of overshadowed the good work we did to win that series to begin with. The Yankees did a very good job, especially in the pitching department. Our bullpen has been one of the best in baseball all year. For this Texas series, the bullpen kind of struggled to start. First game, they gave us a good outing until the very end when Michael King kind of had the wheels fall off to give up the 4-2 victory. But we fought at that point until the 10th inning. But that's also 2 games in a row that we lost. And then we come back 1-0, a shutout by Luis Severino, a guy who's been absolutely terrible since the second game coming back from the IL. He comes back and he gives us a gritty performance. That's the biggest thing for this team right now, is they played with a lot of grit over these past 2 series. He has a gritty performance against Texas. Gives up no runs. The bullpen holds it down. Gives up no runs. Clay Holmes, got to give him a lot of credit. Ever since May started, he's been unhittable. Absolutely crazy turnaround for this guy. A guy that I gave up on. I did not think he had any room as a closer on this team. Now I trust him in the big situations. A guy like Ron stepping up huge in these games. These are guys that we're going to need if we make the postseason. And we're facing a team that's the #1 offense in baseball in Texas. This was just a performance I was not expecting, because you watch them versus Boston and you saw a team that looked like they were dejected. They looked like they were nothing. And then against Seattle, you saw a little bit of life. They squeaked out a few victories, but against Texas, they really showed heart. Heart is the biggest thing here. To squeak out that victory yesterday against not a great bullpen. If you wanted to say the Texas Rangers' weakness was their bullpen, you wouldn't be wrong. But the fact that against a team like Texas, we were able to stay in it, stay at 3-2, find a way with Harrison Bader to get that run in, to get those 2 runs in. And then Big G finally steps up in a big moment, gives us the 5-3 lead. And for Ron Marinaccio to walk the first 2 guys and then have the balls to say, you know what? Fuck that. No one else is getting on. Strikeout, pop out, end of game. What a gutsy performance by this team. And I have a few standout performances here. Luis Severino really looked good. And this is a huge thing for Luis Severino, because I said in that Boston game that he got lit up in the first 2 innings. He got better as that game went on. His fastball started to gain life as the 3rd, 4th, 5th inning started. He got back up to 97 as that 4th inning started. In this game, immediately off the bat, 98. Then came back 99. And his lowest fastball, I think, was 96. That's a stark contrast from the guy who was just throwing 95 as like a max a couple starts ago. His slider finally had bite, which was something that was lacking in the Boston game. We're going to need Luis Severino to be Luis Severino if this team has any chance of making up the ground that they lost, especially with Judge out. And we'll get to Judge in a second. But man, what a performance by him. Another guy I have to shout out is Anthony Volpe. Everyone was so quick to judge the chicken parm story, right? And say like, oh, this chicken parm thing, it didn't really work. Because in his first 2 games, he really didn't start to pick up his stride. people have to realize, no matter what, if it was something he used to do or if it's something completely new, you are changing your swing when you change that stance. It's going to take a few games for you to adjust back or just adjust to these different changes. It's not going to happen immediately. Once that Seattle series started, you finally started to see a Volpe that was confident at the plate, not chasing everything known to man, getting walks, getting doubles, keeping balls fair. These are things that we weren't seeing through May, through June, and now finally we are starting to see this. And a lot of it has to do with this stance switch. His swing finally looks more compact. One thing he does have to work on though, and it pissed me off a little bit when we had one out, man on third, golden opportunity to get a run in. We were down 3-2. He's swinging for the fucking fences with 2 strikes. He's got to find a way to shorten up. He can't keep coming in and saying, I need to hit as hard as I can, no matter what the count is. As he progresses on this development, he's got to learn how to shorten up and learn how to just put the ball in play when we need him to put the ball in play. Because that could have costed us this game and we might be having a dramatically different conversation. Overall though, he's looked a lot better. In the field, he's looking a lot better. This is also a guy that if he can step up, can be a bat that can somewhat help the loss of Aaron Judge. Let's talk about the bad. The Aaron Judge news is terrible, right? And you know what pisses me off about this? The Yankees organization loves to hide shit from their fans. They never love to tell us the truth. It's absolutely mind-boggling how many times they have told us a guy is going to be fine. A guy will be back within this amount of time. And then all of a sudden, no, he's got this problem. Now, the one thing I will give them credit on is they never committed to a timetable. So good on them for that. But that's as far as I'm going with credit for them. They kept telling us this was just a bruise, right? No broken bones. But what they didn't tell us, which is what Aaron Judge finally admitted to the media 3 weeks after the injury, is, he tore a ligament in the toe. That would have been nice to know when you found out. Obviously they knew for a long time, which is why they weren't committing to a timetable. This would have been nice to know before we were thinking, this is going to be a few week break. Maybe by the All-Star break, he'll be back. It would have been nice to know, yeah, guys, not a broken bone, but a torn ligament. But they love to keep that stuff out, right? They'll always keep the good shit. Like, he didn't break a bone though. He didn't break a bone, so that's good. But what they failed to tell us is that, if this torn ligament doesn't start to heal, he's going to have surgery in September. And that could be a 4-month recovery, meaning no chance of him coming back for the postseason. No chance of him coming back at all past May. What are we doing as an organization if you're not going to be straightforward with your fans? You're giving us false hope by not telling us it's a torn ligament. That just pisses me off. Oh my God, that just rubs me the wrong way when teams love to do that. And the Yankees are the biggest culprit of it. Anyways, is something bad. Also, can Gleyber Torres please get his head out of his ass? That's 2 straight series now where you were on base and didn't realize a fly ball was going to be caught and got caught on the base path. That's another opportunity we had to score that 3rd run. Torres got very lucky that Harrison Bader came through in the 8th. Because if he didn't come through in the 8th, we might be burying Gleyber Torres with how bad that was.